Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside the crusher at Walmart. Got to go in and pick up something inside. You know, I'm here every day, almost every day. Love this place. If they ain't got it, I don't need it. But before I went in, I was sitting here looking at my comments because I tell you guys, I read all the comments. I can't sit and read them all at one time, but I'm always trying to catch up. And sometimes there are comments, and my apologies, that get in arrears because I'm reading the new ones. And after a while, you know, it's just going to get so much that I'm going to miss one. So I certainly can't answer them all, but I can do it through video. And while it's in my mind, I wanted to answer a few questions that came to mind. One was people were asking me about the Apple Watch. I know it's not an iWatch. I know it's not a smartwatch. It's an Apple Watch. Same crap. Anywho, that watch was $7.99 plus tax, and if you want another band, which I didn't get, I got the one that was like the most popular one, that kind of, that orange one that identifies it as being the Ultra 2. And each one of those bands, when I went to the Apple store yesterday, Tammy and I bought the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I wish I could show it to you. I was just telling Tammy, maybe I can use her phone to video my phone to do a little review on it, and somehow or another transfer that video over to my phone so I can upload it to my channel. You can send videos, and even, you know, a minute or two video on iPhones to iPhones, but, you know, a 10 or 15 or 20 minute video, some of mine get kind of long. You're not going to be able to send that through iMessage. Now, that is So, I got to figure that out. I know you can do it. I think I can probably just drag it with a USB cable to my Mac and then put it on my iMovie and whatever. So I'm going to do that because I want to review this 15 Pro Max. It is such a nice phone. Handset, communication device, whatever you want to call it. It does it all. And the zoom, oh my gosh, I can I spy anybody. I got telescopic. Let me get back. People were asking me about how much and, you know, how did you transfer that? How did it work out $100 cheaper? Well, you got to get all the details here, okay? You got to get all the details. I got an iPhone 14 Pro that I traded in, and I haven't had it that long. So it was worth a lot of money. I was very happy to get with what they gave me, $700. And, you know, you pay $1,000 for these phones, and, you know, 2 years later, they give you $300, $400, $400 usually. $500 would be a lot. $700 was because I just bought the darn thing. So that's all right. So anyway, I got the iPhone, and I was, what is this lady doing here? We got somebody. You ain't gonna believe what I'm looking at here, guys. You're not gonna believe it. Now I'm not. I thought she was gonna come right to my window. I'm not meaning to make fun of anything. Okay, we have a lot of people that are, you know, homeless or, you know, mental things going on. She was standing in front of my truck right here, and she was going like this in the wind, looking at the sky. So I thought, and then when she walked over here, there's no other cars around me. I thought she was going to, you know, hey, what do you got? Let's get back to it. So I got a lot of money back for my 14 Pro. The Apple Watch is $7.99 for the Ultra 2. The Ultra, which they don't call it an Ultra 1, it's just the Ultra that came out last year, was also $7.99. They didn't change the price. Why? Because they didn't change the watch. It's just that, you know, Apple really can't, like the 13 iPhone and the 14 iPhone, the one that I got Tammy and the one that I have, the 13 and 14 were identical in everything. I mean, somebody's going to probably leave a text message saying, like the difference in the Ultra 1 and the Ultra 2 iWatch, Apple Watch, was supposedly the battery is a little better in the new one and a little faster somehow, which nobody would ever be able to tell. It might be no minutes or 5 minutes longer battery, and you would never know about the difference in the speed. So the cameras, you remember when phones every year were making leaps and bounds, and we went from flip phones to smartphones and screens and big and small, and all this technology that grew exponentially, and the cameras went from one lens, two lenses, three lenses, zoom, and cinematic, and all of these changes. And that's been the biggest selling point that they've always had with Apple every year, was it's the camera. People are buying them for the camera and these other gimmicks more than a phone, because they all do the same thing as far as, hey, how you doing? You know, yeah, I'll be right over. Or text. I mean, even the old flip phone, you know, they can text. It's all about, you know, the camera and a few other technological advances they've made. But they can't get any better. They're really reached, they plateaued. I've been saying that. That's why I said I would never buy another phone after I got the 13. But Tammy's 11 broke. She couldn't hear out of it anymore. The speaker or something broke. She could only use exterior speaker, so she couldn't have private conversations. So I got her the 13, I got the 14, which were the same phones. And so I lied there. I said I would never leave the 13, but we had to get one for Tammy, so I got the 14. Then I said I'll never need another phone, and I lied there because you can't believe a damn thing I say, and I just got the 15. Why? They're not any better. The camera, you know, can zoom more, but you're not going to take pictures across the parking lot. You're not going to do that. It's like those microphones at work that I'm getting. I can walk 2 or 3 football fields away and you can still hear me, but you can't see me. Why would I ever video being that far away? They're gimmicks. But the difference was I went from the 14 to the 15 Max. I can't see, and I wanted more real estate, and this is my business now. I'm a YouTuber, and I just needed a bigger one, and it has more memory. When I shoot a lot of the videos, and you guys know I put a lot of videos up, I have to constantly delete. I had 128 gigabyte. The new 15 Pro Max has minimum 256 gigs of memory. And then it's 526 or something like that, and then a terabyte. Well, I don't need more than 256 gigs. But what people don't know is when they do these software updates and these apps and things you put on, these take up your storage. And if you keep videos on your phone, you can put 1 million pictures on your phone. Doesn't really amount to much. But as soon as you start putting videos, especially if you like videoing in 1080p, you know, in high definition, instead of 720, you know, your memory gets taken up. You can put a lot on there, but it eats it up pretty quick. You remember when the phones first came out? They had 16 gig, 8 gig, the first iPhones. They never heard of 126 or 256 or a terabyte. But because we're packing so much in on them, people use them as their computer. You can scan with them, email, send things, you read QR codes, all this stuff that the smartphones do. So I got it because I bought the watch, $799. Let's get back to that. The first ones were $799. Number 2 Ultra is $799 because they didn't change anything. I said, I'm returning this thing because if I can get, Walmart has them right in here, refurbished, in stock. I don't have to have them mail it to me. They'll go get it out of the back. Refurbished means if somebody bought it and didn't like it or whatever and took it back. It's not broken. Plus they give you the same 90 days. If you find anything wrong, you take it back. And if there's a scratch on it, you never take it out of there. So look for the one if you want to get one of these Ultras, because they're the bigger face. And they are cool, but not for me. So I bought it, and then when I found out the first one's the same thing, I said, I'm taking this back. I'll find the first one. And because you can get the first ones for $500 to $600. That watch with tax was $850, $870, some stupid number. So I got my money back. And Apple's like, no problem. They resell it. You know, they're the most wealthiest company on the face of the planet. Apple is the most, thought somebody was around there. They're the highest valued company on the planet. So if Walmart takes anything back, Macy's takes things back, everybody takes things back. Publix, you can return something. Total Wine, when I drank booze, I bought a bottle of scotch one time. I took it back and I said, I can't stand it. And they even told me before I took it out, because I said, I don't know if I'm going to like it. You know, they described these liquors as being smoky and all that. And they said, but if you don't like it, just bring it back. They told me this. I didn't go in there like, hey, I drank half the bottle, I don't want it. That isn't the way I roll. I didn't like it and I took it back. I didn't want to own up to whatever the hell it was. It was a lot of money. So I took it back, and you can do the same thing. So I took the watch back. I got my $875. But my plan was, for the business, for the YouTube, was to have the watch. I was going to get a gimbal. I was going to get a microphone. And I thought, why don't I get the latest? I bought one before and returned. A few years ago in Sarasota, I bought a Max. The Max was bigger than the Max today. It was Maximus. It was a phablet, phone tablet. It was a phablet. It was so, you couldn't even put your hand around it. It was ridiculous. Heavy. So if you go put your hands on a 15 Pro Max, it weighs less than the 14 Pro, which is a smaller phone, weighs less, and it is bigger. It looks bigger, but it isn't the big like the other earlier, maybe even last year's Max was. Sometimes Apple doesn't get it right, but they put them out and people buy them, and then they realize, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. I don't like this. Whatever. They crack the screen, they drop it, and they buy another one. Because they keep selling them, man. People are buying them for their 6-year-olds. I mean, as soon as you can read, they're putting a phone in everybody's hand. All right. So I took the watch back, and I said, yeah, I want to return this watch and buy an iPhone. And they have 4 colors. They have a black, almost black, I don't know what they call it, a white, which is not bright white, the one I got, it's beautiful, and they have a silver, which is silver. And it was between those two. It definitely wasn't the dark one. And so I'm looking at them, Tammy's looking at them, we're going back and forth. And within very short order, after looking at the silver one and picking the white one up again, after about 4 times, it was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, the silver one was kind of too conservative, just sort of like, not really. The white was, and it's not a bright white. It's nice. You know, they got black, and then they got a little different black. They got blues, they got all the different shades of blue. And this white is a nice one. So I took that, and I put a clear case on it, a MagSafe case. Yes, high dollar at the Apple store. It's got the, I'll show it to you, but I'm using it. It's got the MagSafe little circle with a line on the back. It's an Apple case. It's $50. The phone is $1,200. I would never pull the trigger on that if all this mental psychological thing happened. And what it is was, I already pulled the trigger on $875 for a watch that I couldn't wait to get back to them, because I knew that wasn't anything that could justify. I didn't want the smaller ones, even though they got them for $300. I don't want one of those. I thought I would like it. I don't like it. I took it back. So they gave me all my money back. Now I got $900. And this watch, this phone is $1,200. But I got a phone that I only bought, 4 months ago. And they're like, okay, they run a diagnostics on it. They can tell if it's cracked, had parts replaced, a screen replaced by anybody other than Apple. And if it has, you're not getting diddly hardly. So they ran their check and everything, and oh, you're good. $700 we'll give you. So that left a difference of $400, right, to 12. 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. $500. Aye. So $500. But that's still $375 cheaper than the watch was. Difference. Because I'm giving them my phone that a few months ago I gave like $1,000 for. But I forgot about that, see. This is how you rationalize. So now the $1,200 phone is only $500. And I said, well, give me one of them clear cases there for $50. Slap that on there. I'm not walking out of this store without a case. You drop it, it's over. And it just felt right. It was light. It's pretty. I can see it. And then I made the fonts and all the icons on it even bigger. You can do that in settings. I'm very techie. I know all about the iPhone. And then I got to shout out to Visible. I got to really plug this right now. The last time I bought the phone, just a few months ago, and Tammy and I did our deal, we both had Visible. I get the phone, I do the transfer, all my apps, my contacts are all on the phone, but I don't have the cellular service going yet. And so you gotta chat, because there is no call Visible. It's an app, but they have online live chat. But what a lot of people don't know about Visible, in case you ever need to talk to them, you go to the little question mark on the top of the app. You'll see a question mark on the top right. You click it, touch it, and it'll say, live chat. But it ain't live. You get this AI, Cornelia, or whatever the name is of this robot, that can answer lots of questions. Because of AI and the technology today, it does prevent a human being from having to do a lot of unnecessary talking. But if you'll just type in the chat, customer service, 5 to 10 times, every time Cornelia comes back saying, did that answer your question? Just don't even say no, just customer service. And then the computer will realize that it's not getting anywhere, and it'll say, hold on, you're next in line for a live chat. And they come on right away. It only takes about a couple of minutes to do this, customer service. And then you'll get somebody. And they're live. And they are the most knowledgeable, the most helpful. They know every single thing. I've never had one of them stumped, and they can take care of you. And I've only had to call them, or chat with them, I should say, for my friends that aren't quite as techie as I am. I never got myself in a situation where I messed up something in my phone that I had to get a hold of Visible. But anyway, I digress. There's that $2 word. So what I'm really impressed about, and I want to give a shout out to Visible about, is in the store when we had to hook up cellular, let's say you have Verizon or AT&T or Cricket or Metro PCS, most of these are seamless changes. You just click hook up to my cellular, and you're out of the store and your phone's working. But I had to, a few months ago, get on the chat with Visible, and you had to answer an email to verify it was you. They send a link to an email, and you got to go into use a different device, somebody else's phone or your desktop or your laptop or your Mac or something, and go to your email and click on the link to verify it's you, because it's security. Anybody can be doing anything, and they're doing a lot of stuff these days. I got a text today about your Amazon account's locked up. Your PayPal account's locked up. Your Social Security is going to be shut off. All these things that these people get on the emails and texts every day now, these scammers are everywhere. So I had to chat them to get my phone hooked up, and it was a little bit of a annoying thing to have to do, because now I didn't have a phone that worked to call them. And both Tammy and I got phones at the same time, so I couldn't use hers. It would have been a seamless thing if I could have just grabbed her phone and it worked. Excuse me. It would have worked fine, but we were both getting phones. Now, yesterday when I bought the iPhone, I was worried about that. But man, props to Visible Wireless. We clicked on whatever that was next about when it was all done and all the transfers were done, the updates were done. All right, who's your cellular? Visible. Click. Boom! Visible 5G ultra wideband. Walked out of there calling people. How you doing? On my new iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm like this now. Instead of like this. And so Visible is just the best. It's Verizon. The Verizon towers. $25 a month, including everything, taxes, everything, and unlimited everything. And when I say unlimited everything, I mean that hotspot, that Wi-Fi signal. You push a button, your TV, your laptop, your friend's phone, your friend's desktop. It's like going into Starbucks and you're like, hey, I need somebody sitting in the car here with a Mac or a Android or whatever, and they don't have any internet. Here, push my button. Go ahead, get on. You got internet now. It doesn't cost you a penny. It's unlimited. And so I watch my smartphone. My smart TV in the camper. Both TVs, one at a time though. It'll only give Wi-Fi hotspot to one additional device at one time. You disconnect from that one, you can go to a next one. It isn't like, here, I push this button, everybody in Boynton can have Wi-Fi. No. It doesn't work that way. So anyway, the Visible did a good job, and back to buying the phone. So they gave me $875 back. I washed that out. I'm back to zero. They give me $700 for my phone, and then they wanted $1,200. So I paid $500 difference, bought a case for $50, paid another $50 or $75, whatever the heck it was, for 7% tax. And I was out of there for $700 or $750. Whereas I paid $875 or $850 for the watch on the get-go 2 days earlier. So in the end, I spent $100 less, but I lost, from having a phone only a few months, $300 on it. That phone was $1,000, $899, $999, whatever it was. But we used Tammy's iPhone 11 that had a bad earpiece as a trade-in on it. And, they gave us something for it. So I really, think it was justifiable. And now I have the phone that's the best phone that Apple's ever made. The biggest, the best, except for the highest amount of memory. And I never need to buy another phone again. But again, let me hear it. That's right. Can't believe a damn thing I say. So right now I got the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which I love. Wish I could show it to you. And I don't have an Apple Watch, which I don't care. And I only spent $100 less than I was already willing to spend for something I didn't want. So that's my story. Now, one more story. I was reading the comments, back to comments, and I can't answer them all, so I try to do it in video. If you're still with me, thank you, first of all, to all you wonderful people that sent the gifts and the cards. And some of you even reached back and said, this is so-and-so that sent you that or this, and glad you like it. And is it Jeff that sent me the barbecue brush that was telling me how to take the wire thing out, which was invaluable information. I love my little remote control holder, and I put my readers in there. That thing is cool. The flashlight, here it is. So if I have my mind changer in my hand, I'm like the police. Or I go like this. For the intruder. And it's just handy to have in your vehicle. I take it everywhere I go, throw it in my pocket. I throw it in my, where is it? This is called I got this at Dick's, the Quest sling, the sling bag. I put on like that. And what's in there, right? So, it's awesome. But on the comments, hot, it's hot. You guys are freezing up north, right? It's hot. Your loving comments, I love you. Thank you so much. They never end. They never stop. Best people in the world watch Sarasota Tim, I swear. And then I get the comments of people asking me questions about, can you do a video on the healthcare again, on your give back program, on your Medicare, on your cruises. I mentioned a cruise, and somebody said, yeah, you did one back in the summer, a cruise, and it had a lot of good information on it, but I can't find it. It's on my channel, but about the pricing and, you know, what would be a good price and what's a high price and all that. So I will be making some videos in the coming days on these kinds of things to provide valuable information for all of you out there that are, one guy, this is funny. They're coming to me as I'm talking, folks. I'm sorry. One guy sent me a picture. He bought a Flagstaff. Another guy has got an Apple Watch. He might have already had that watch, but it was the same one. And he's got a picture of going like this, and his TV's in the background with me playing on it. I guess talking about the watch or something. And then another guy emails me the other night from the dealership saying, I'm right in the middle of negotiating a deal on a $60,000 2024 Tundra from watching your videos. You're costing me money. Call Toyota right now. They owe you. So I'm so happy that you guys find the information on some of the videos that I put out that are informative and helpful to you, including drawing your Social Security day one at 62 years old. I'm making another video probably tomorrow. I tell you, because I've heard some things. I've got some people that are trying to drag on my coattails, trying to make a name for themselves. They didn't even, oh my gosh, it's hilarious what's going on out there in the media. Some of you know what I'm talking about, but I digress. Anyway, it's just funny. It really is. So get your Social Security, live your life, be kind, watch my videos, give them a thumbs up. Please use my Amazon link, all this shopping and money you're spending right now. I have to be able to pay for that watch. No, that phone. And it doesn't cost you a penny though. And you know, when I make these jokes, sometimes I hear some people that want to really twist it out of the thing. And he wants a new car. Man, I'll tell you, it's a funny world. It really is. And there are some funny people out there. Really is amazing to me. But I have the best community in the world. This guy's getting runaway carts here. He's trying to round up the Walmart carts and his little electric thing. Let me show you. I'll show you. See, he's having he's trying to work it out. He's got the controller in his hand and he's making this thing go. And he's got a separation here. He's got to get the train hooked back up. All right, let's get back to this before I end the video. Because I have to go to Walmart. And we might make a shopping video. I know so many people love those. But the comments, your kind comments, your question comments, the ones I didn't answer, don't think I didn't read them. I did. I saw your comment. And those that answer for me that kind of know some of the common things that people ask about. And some of you are still asking about Miss T. She's doing fine. She's behind the scenes. She's really good at videography. She's got her niche there. She's pretty good at it. I do most of it, but sometimes I'll have her. I got a scooter going to arrive in a couple of days from Hovsco. Going to be doing a review on it. A scooter. Yeah. And they're not very much money, so it's another price point. I'm trying to do these things that are in different levels so we can cover it all. And Hovsco has proven to be a very good company in working with me and everything. And wow, he's taking out the side rail. But as far as the comments, I read them all, and they're all fantastic. A lot of you are getting a lot more involved in the comments, and I get your sense of humor. You're picking up. You got your sayings too. You put that little laughing face at the end. So, I don't need to see that. I know when I see that you're being funny, and it's not to be. But things can be taken out of context, can't they? When you text, I'm talking about not just commenting on videos, but when you text your friend, your husband, your wife. Texting is you got to be careful. A lot of things are read differently by people. So that's why calling, I tell you guys to pick up the phone and call your friend and just speak to him. You know, I had to call Tammy today. She's bad about it. She wanted to sit there and text for like forever, because that's what she likes to do with her friends. I don't like doing it. I'll just call you, you know. And somebody gave me a card with your husband's mobile phone number on one of the gifts that I got. And of course I won't say the name, but I wanted to call you or text you. Well, I wanted to call you, not text you. I wanted to call you right then and there and chat with you a minute. But I know that you're all out west, and that was 3 hours earlier. And I did the video in the morning when I was doing the, so I didn't want to be rude. But I've got the card laying there, and I'm going to reach out to you and thank you personally, because I really appreciate each and every thing that I got. They were very thoughtful, and I'm using them all. As you can tell, I'm all hopped up on coffee. My weight is 205. I just joined the LA Fitness with the silver sneakers. What a deal. I can go to any LA Fitness in the United States of America and jump in a pool, a basketball court, a racquetball court, the cardio, the machines. People have been asking me, what do you do to lose weight? What do you do to stay healthy? What are you going to do to extend your life? Well, I'll tell you what I do. I try to do the best I can on watching the food I eat. I'm not the best at it, I'll admit that. But I am good about trying to get exercise. It's so important, folks, that people our age should go to a gym. And you can walk, you can do push-ups on the floor, you can get a chair and squat up and down. You really can. But the gym, it's also a place that it's just nice to be there, and they have like the pool and things that, and if you got silver sneakers, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. But if you aren't 65 yet and you're watching my videos, and join the $10 a month Planet Fitness, because LA Fitness I think is like $40 a month minimum for their just basic plan. But that's really a great way and to be accountable to yourself. You will get results in a few days or a few weeks. You'll start feeling things, and it's nice when you see the results. You feel good about it. It gives you something to do. If you have that day off, or if you're retired like me, or you got plenty of time, what do you need to do? Sit around and watch TV? No. Go to the gym and put 30 minutes in there. You can do your thing. And if you happen to meet some friends in there, you might end up hanging around an hour, because you might end up working out with somebody or saying hello to a few people. They got these classes like at LA Fitness. I might take a couple of those classes. That's a great way to get acquainted with new friends. So it's a good thing overall, not just your health, but socializing. It's like going to church. A lot of people meet a lot of friends in church, even significant others. So that's one thing. Cruising, I only know about Royal Caribbean, and I've only been on 7-day cruises. I haven't done those 2-3 day jobs. They seem like they're over before they get started. I haven't checked the prices lately, but I can tell you that I've had them as low as $1,800 for the week with an ocean view balcony room. I told that to Tammy, and she told me to mention that, if you don't get the balcony room, if you get one of those rooms like on the Oasis class ships with Royal Caribbean that overlook the boardwalk in the back of the ship, you can see the water, and the Aqua Theater where they do these shows and you hear this music. Or they have another balcony that's on the inside of the ship that overlooks this park. They call it Central Park, where there's trees and flowers and bushes, and it's kind of a quiet area where they have some nice champagne bars and things like that. And you can just sit on your balcony and look at that, and look across the way at other people looking at you. Way across the way though. And so I like those balconies if you don't want to just get an ocean view where the water goes by, and that's very nice though. So that's really cruising. Sit out there and the water just passes you by, especially at night, because the thing never stops 24/7 unless you're in port. That thing is moving, and not moving fast, but when you go 24/7 without stopping, you get a long ways. And they only go in a straight line too. They don't have this like on a road. They can cross miles, hundreds of miles like that overnight. So anyway, I got another guy on Facebook. His name is Jeff. That guy cruises all the time. he gets them for free. He's got something going on with the casino on the ships, and he's not even a big gambler. He just keeps getting these free offers where he just pays the tax. So there's things like that you can do too. I can get more information about it. Jeff will share with me more, where you can go in on your next cruise, and if you do like gambling, if you're a Vegas kind of a person, you can go into the casino and register your name, so all your money that you spend is noted, and they will be like, hey, here's somebody that wants to spend every dime they own in the bank on our cruise ship. Let's offer them a free cruise in hopes that they'll empty their pockets on our boat, our ship. So, of course, you're not going to do that because you're smarter than that. You're just going to take the free cruise and spend what you want to spend in the casino for your own entertainment because you're in control. So anyway, that's a long video. That's a lot of stuff to say. That's quite a bit of stuff. I think I crushed it.